Let's hit the merch store.
It's absurdity and RPG font. Tycho Brahe's behind creased cardboard, but you don't pull up chairs for humor, do you? You shouldn't miss this guy Cthulhu. He shakes a stone. There's Light Eldritch compelling you, the viewers, to hit the merch store. 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 Walnut's Grove is gone, which sucks for a druid. Plus mail is strong, but nuts wise into it. Sigils on the cave wall stabbed like daggers. She took wolf form and she howled aloud. She bit at Cthulhu and she snapped her snout. And by her instincts led you to the merch store. Hit the merch store. Hit the merch store. Hit the merch store. Hit the merch store. Rosie, she's shopped there before. All her grandkids get gifts from this store. Little halflings with their kingpins playing footloose. I've seen them picnic beneath the stars, wearing their bright dark magic scarves. It's a one-stop shop for birthdays at the merch store. Hit the merch store. Hit the merch store. Hit the merch store. Hit the merch store.
Denard's a paladin, dragonborn, who treats everybody else with scorn. But you know that they all deserve it, don't you? He gains entitlement from bits, or so Jerry claims, so I guess it fits. And they both expect you all to hit the merch store.
Hit the merch store. Hit the merch store. Hit the merch store. Hit the merch store. Maybe there are gods beyond whose tendrils shift their waking pawns, but Jerry kinda seems like he has got this. Except the times when the phones light up and ideas arise, then outright erupt, and Jerry's gone, volcanic cursed Rothfuss. What now, Rothfuss? Come on, Rothfuss. Ignore Rothfuss. Gosh darn Rothfuss. Dang it, Rothfuss. My game, Rothfuss. Go home, Rothfuss.
Shut up,
Rothfuss. Flippin' Rothfuss. Let's not do this. Hit the merch store.
Hit the merch store. I'm heading down to somewhere. Got my pickaxe in my hand. As I'm heading down to somewhere, got my pickaxe in my hand. I'm heading down to somewhere, God knows where I am.
The summer is past, But your days keep growing longer. There's no wind in your sails, but the storm's blowing stronger. Walking hard, standing tall, keeping your head up through it all. Fighting fires, spinning plates. Goodness, how did it get so late? Lay your head down and dream. Lay your head down and lay your head down and dream. Lay your head down and
Just let your mind float downstream, sprawled out in a moonbeam. Lay your head down and dream.
Joe Hills is filmed before a live streaming audience.
That's us! Howdy, y'all. Joe Hills here, recording as I always do in Nashville, Tennessee. And tonight, y'all are my live streaming audience. I appreciate you joining me here on the HermitCraft Vanilla Survival Multiplayer server. We are currently in the heart of our Nether Hub's bedrock roof, where I am building concentrically larger models of my favorite build on the server. I don't normally rank things, but this is it, folks. This is the greatest thing I have ever constructed. It's a glass block with a lantern on top, and I love it so much, I decided to start building more glass blocks with lanterns on top at different scales so I could better understand what really goes into a glass block and what really goes into a lantern. And I feel like I'm learning a lot, folks, and I hope you are too. So, let's see what we are doing tonight. People are saying it was too late for last. That's us. We don't have any schedule stuff to announce right now. I don't know when the server is going down, but I do know that whenever the server does go down, there will be a few days between when we take the server down to upgrade it to 117 and when y'all actually get to see the first episode. And so the way we normally do HermitCraft season launches is usually we record the first episode a little bit before we release the first episode so everybody has time to edit it, and we don't allow any streaming from the server during that embargo window. So there's going to be a few days coming up, and I don't know precisely when I'm not going to be able to stream from HermitCraft. So my plan is on those evenings, on those evenings, okay. I also, so things are a little bit chaotic around here. Now that some of my friends are vaccinated, they're sending me questions about if they can just show up for my show. So we will maybe have some in-studio guests, not tonight, maybe not. We don't know yet. But anyway, so I might be streaming some atypical stuff, especially if we have in-studio guests. If we don't, we've got a few other things that I had wanted to stream. We had talked about doing a tour of the, what do you call it, Patreon server. We had talked about, I spoke with Badger earlier, and apparently there's a new yokai expansion or update or whatever for the Phasmophobia game. So we might actually, I might look into doing a Phasmophobia stream. There's a few things that we might do. But once again, I don't actually know when this server is shutting down. So I don't know how many nights or which nights yet. Badger is not the Terraria streamer. It's the Badger Spanner, who is actually in my latest episode. If you haven't caught it, I hope you check that out. So let me see if I can find the. Where's? Oh, of course my videos would not be in the right order. But yeah, so I'll play. You know what? This is I'm gonna go ahead and play just a little bit of audio from my latest episode to clarify, because I don't want anybody thinking I'm copying the Terraria streamer. Here we go. Oh, this site is muted. Here we go.
This week on HermitCraft.
Me, I'm the magic. And we grew a beautiful tree, too. The blood of our enemies truly is the best fertilizer.
Welcome to Joe Hills Plays HermitCraft. My name is Badger Spanner. Our writer is Joe Hills TSD.
Yeah, so that's the Badger Spanner. Or that's the Badger, as they say for short in England. But glad you're alive, Iskadoo. Do I have a copy of the HC7 World? No. I'll get a copy of the HC7 World when you do. I have not gotten canoeing, or I have not gotten in a boat for far too long. But yeah. So, did the audio go through for that? Anyway, if you haven't checked that out, I did like a 6-minute parody of the HermitCraft recap with Badger Spanner filling in for Pixel Riffs. You know, I could have maybe got the real Pixel Riffs to do it, because he's an upstanding bloke or whatever. But I felt like it would be funnier as a gag if Pix and Zloid did not know that was coming. And I don't think... I think they were pleasantly surprised. I don't think anybody figured out that I was recording that when I was recording it. So, yeah. Hey, Ray McKay. Hey, also, Ray, apologies that your Discord invite took so long. I checked, and I thought I had sent it a few days ago. Sometimes Patreon messages look like they sent, and they did not. That is my bad. So, yeah, thank you for following up and asking, because it's like I write all of those invites in a separate app, and then I copy and paste them into the Patreon messages app because it crashes so often. I hate writing messages in it and then having them crash and lose the message. So I'm like, okay, here's the message I sent Ray. I wrote it. I remember copying and pasting it in there, but apparently it didn't send. So my bad on that. I should have double checked. And I went back and checked the other ones I sent that day. It looks like the rest of them I sent that day went through, but yeah. Thank you for reaching out, and apologies for the inconvenience. Mind of Me says if they do a recap this week, it'll be great to see them cover it. I think they basically said that they're going on hiatus while the rest of the Hermits have already ended their seasons, which is fine. I don't blame them. I didn't actually watch that thing where they talked about the end of the season, but I'm assuming that was in there. Milky Snowman says, I didn't get the invite. I know I sent yours. Okay. You know what? Then maybe some of those didn't. Okay. I cannot fix that right now. Milky Snowman, I apologize. I will get to that tomorrow. Yeah. It should have... So the thing is, when Patreon messages go down, like, it does this thing where it looks like stuff sends, and then they roll it back or something. I don't know. So, yeah, I'm so sorry. Okay. Peter Gulo says, when is the new season? Sometime this month? I don't know. They said they will recap day 1 videos, but not end of 7 recap. Gotcha. But yeah, Milky Snowman, I am sorry. I thought that had gone through. I will go back and I need to... If we've had 2 people slip through the cracks in 1 week, I need to go back and audit the last, 10 or 20. Because I don't want anybody else feeling like they're not getting what they paid for. That's not cool. Okay, Sakara 10 got theirs. Yeah, that's the thing, is it's like... Why is that like that? Oh, okay. Probably because I ran out of glass right there. Dang it. Okay. So... Must be all the devs they let go. It wouldn't surprise me if that was an element. The Classy Suit says, I loved your HermitCraft recap parody episode. Thank you. Oh, you know what that... I realize I've been juggling messages on so many different windows. I have forgotten to load up my PayPal alerts. So it looks like we need to go ahead and say thank you to Steven for the first tip of the night. Thank you for that 5, Steven. That puts us 15 away from the next phase camera expansion. Hey, Sean Hills is rating. Brother, I am glad to see you are streaming again. I know you are relocating to that East Coast. I'm guessing from the fact that you are rating, that means you have your streaming rig and everything set up. And you are back on the air. So I am very glad to hear that. Welcome, Gracewinder, Appleton27, Vidmaster7. Yeah, that is the Sean Hills who writes all the music. Hold on. Where is it? Like this one.
Who's the guy who can conquer death?
That's Joe Hills.
He plays for Nashville when he plays Minecraft. That's Joe Hills. That's Joe Hills.
So I'm going to go ahead and I posted that link in the YouTube chat, and I'm going to post that just in case anybody in the Discord has missed it. Kindleless, no, UK, US travel is not allowing that sort of thing at the moment. That would be delightful, but no, I'm not going to have any of my UK friends over this week. No, it's like my friends from the United States. Okay. So, yeah, the Discord is for folks at the $5 and up level on Patreon, which you can join via patreon.com/JoeHills. Can I post the Twitch link here too? It's just that Sean Hills. So people on the Twitch can just click his name in the chat. But hold on. I guess I can post it here if you need it. Does that not work in mobile or something? You can't just click people's profiles? But yeah. And then, oh yeah, for anybody who wants to tip via PayPal, sorry, I never actually posted the link. It's in the description, but it does help to post it in the chat. Tips are always appreciated via YouTube Super Chat and PayPal via paypal.me/JoeHills. Okay, cool. All the housekeeping. Yeah, that's Sean Hills. The song is about Joe Hills, but the album is actually called Sean Hills Sings Joe Hills. Okay. So the person who sings, who's the guy who can conquer death? Now, I know some of y'all wanted to see Hermits Helping Hermits tonight, or not tonight, this afternoon, and the Hermits were actually busy with something else. We have a lot of irons and a lot of fires right now. So, unfortunately, we did help each other, but we didn't help each other publicly on a stream. So, I'm going to go ahead and play that, that theme that y'all love so much, which is also written by my brother. Well, I wrote the words. He did the arrangement.
Mesa, the helping hermit stream, mocking in the rages of their chat proximity. They block their blocks down quickly toward their stated goal. And when y'all tune in, your laughter's uncontrolled. When the last flight brings more blocks and the fireworks go cold, HermitCraft will build
Together, not alone.
So watch with us each Monday. Remember to follow, so the chat can see you there, so you'll never miss a show.
Angel Matrix says, can we ask where you moved to, Sean Hills, or is that too personal or private? I'm glad you answered, brother, because I didn't know if we were allowed to say, but Charleston, South Carolina. So, yeah, I am looking forward to visiting you down there. I have not been to the beach for far too long. Probably won't get down there this summer, but who knows? At some point. Like, this summer is going to be kind of very, very busy. We've got, oh, man. We've got the new season launching. We've got some other live stream events that are exciting coming up. I've got my friend Pasta and I guess our friend now, because some of these folks that like I didn't know very closely at the beginning are now my friend too. Pasta and McBoots, who also goes by Michaela Abel and helped write what's the name of that Frost Maiden book? The D&D. Oh no, I'm so bad at promoting things. Okay. But yeah. Anyway, last year I helped Pasta and Boots set up a charity stream, and they asked me to help them on their board this year. So I'm going to be hanging out with them July 9th through 11th for Draw for Charity. If y'all want to go ahead and hit follow on that. We also have a Twitter that has a bunch of trailers with footage from last year's D&D games and things like that. Let me grab that. But yeah. So not only am I presenting this year, but I'm actually on the board, helping plan it, helping make sure it's 40. Yeah, Rhyme of the Frost Maiden. Thank you, Ray McKay. Yeah. So Michaela Abel wrote the 10 Towns portion of the book and has done a bunch of other professional dungeon mastering stuff. But yeah, so it's a bunch of D&D nerds. NJ Coffee Junkie is another board member. Brosephine, who y'all have probably seen here as a moderator occasionally. Lots of great folks. So we've got a few trailers on the Twitch channel where we show the different games we play and stuff. Or not on the Twitch channel, on the Twitter feed. But yeah, anyway. So that is coming up this summer. That is going to be a huge deal. I've got some other technical projects. I've got a board game I'm working on that I want to be ready to demo in October for Tennessee Game Days. And then again at PAX Unplugged in December. So I've got a lot of... It's going to be a busy summer for me. I'm going to try and get some traveling in. But I have been working with an incredibly talented artist for a board on the for the board game. We have some playtesting stuff we need to do as well, but like the concept of like the background of the board, we know enough about it that I'm like, okay, if I want to get like a super good artist to do something like very painterly about this, like get them locked in now, get all this stuff sorted out. So I can't really talk about what we did today, guys. Sorry, y'all. But yeah, let's see. Oh, I also need to build the Draw for Charity website. That's on my list. I'm like, yeah, you can't see the bios for the board yet because, I haven't put that part of the site together. But we've got some great guests. I'm going to be running a D&D game in my Castle Ravenloft. I'm going to be running a Ravenloft abridged type of thing. We are going to be also playing a few games that I'm going to be joining in on. Among Us. I'm going to be playing some golf with friends. Just a whole bunch of stuff throughout the weekend. It should be really fun. Mantigag says, if you need people with playtesting experience, let me know. I'm sure our group could give you constructive feedback. We have tons of experience. I think you probably could. Manti, that's I really appreciate that. This is one of those things where it's like, I'm trying to get the minimum viable thing for playtesting done for like outside playtesting. My goal is to get that by October. And hey, NJ Coffee Junkie, thank you for the raid. Howdy, NJ Coffee Junkie Raiders. My name is Joe Hills. I'm broadcasting live from Nashville, Tennessee, here on the HermitCraft server. I am currently building a giant glass cube because you know what? Why not? It's kind of like a casket for the roof. Like, what do you do when something is done? You put it in a box. I mean, at least that's how most restaurants are doing it these days, because they're not, like, seating people. Or are they? I don't know. I haven't gotten out much. Hey, we got a tip via PayPal from Ju for 55, who says some auto help. Thank you very much. That is going to put us... Okay, so 15, 35, 55. Boom. That's 3 face camera expansions even. Thank you very much, Ju. Here we go. It's time to say... Well, wait, it's the first one. Howdy, y'all. Grow Hills here, expanded as I always do in Nashville, Tennessee. Dee-da-dee-da-dee, dee-da-dee-da-dee-dee-dee. And then we grow hills, do-do-do-do. And then we expand, Joe, do-do-do-do. Peter Gullo, thank you for the next 5, who says, ever use Webflow to make a website? No. I usually... So I got started off just hard coding everything in HTML and doing like really custom stuff. Then I started doing some PHP, content management system based stuff. These days, a lot of clients that had previously had me build custom content management systems, like WordPress caught up with what we were building 10 years ago custom. So things are just getting migrated into WordPress a lot. But no, I don't really use Webflow. I'm a LAMP developer. Linux, Apache, MySQL, PHP. Although MySQL now is MariaDB. So. Oh, Draw for Charity is a charity event benefiting Child's Play, which you can learn more about. Let me pull up their URL. childsplaycharity.org. They help hospitals get equipment, and they help train hospital staff to deal with equipment, like video games and stuff for kids who, like... One of the things that's really hard for kids in a hospital is, like, they have to... If they could go home, they would be home. But, like, a lot of times they have, like, stuff where, like, they're under observation for a little bit, or they need to heal under observation. And, like, the worst thing they could do is get fidgety and anxious and be moving around when they're not supposed to. And so by helping hospitals not only have, like, setups where they can, like, wheel video games into the kids' rooms and stuff, but also, like, be set up in such a way that the IT department can actually, like, take care of the machines, and then also that, like, the cleaning staff can clean them properly because you don't want to be spreading germs. Like, there's a lot that goes into making hardware safe in a hospital. And so Child's Play provides expertise and equipment as well. But you can learn more at childsplaycharity.org/about. So there we go. Yeah. You can learn more about that there. But yeah, this is an organization, like, I feel it's crass to talk too much about who you give money to, because it feels like bragging about, like, look at how generous I am. But, like, this is legitimately a charity that I have known to do good work for a very long time and have privately supported in small amounts because I didn't have a lot. It's easier for me to help a charity by doing an event like this and helping rally the community than or the amount that I could write in like US dollars on a check versus the amount that the community could give. It doesn't compare. But, like, this is a charity that has been on my radar for over a decade. They've been around a long time. They have proven results. I trust them. I've given them small amounts of money myself over the years, but I feel like, you know, when my friend Pasta was like, hey, I want to do this Child's Play stream, you know, can you help? You know, I was like, I can help, man, but, like, you know, okay. Like, I didn't know, like, at one point, Pasta, he said this at a meeting, and I'm like, and he's just like, but Joe, you believed in me this whole time. You believed in us. You knew this could work like this. I was like, I mean, I wanted to hang out with you guys and play video games, and I thought, like, we won't cost the charity money if we fail. Like, I had no idea that we would be this successful. I thought this will be a good way to hang out and maybe we'll learn some things and we'll definitely raise a small amount of money, but it was we exceeded expectations last year drastically, and so we're trying to take it a little bit more seriously this year, which is one of the reasons I'm building us like a professional website, which isn't live yet, and why Liz has been working on those trailers on the Twitter and stuff like that. Yeah, I'm trying to talk about like I'm not trying to like brag about how much money I gave anybody. I'm trying to say like this is a group that when I give somebody money, like a charity, I vet them first, and then if I'm gonna give them money again next year, I vet them again, because I don't have a lot of extra money, right? And also, I'm like, I don't know, paranoid to a fault, which makes me good at certain parts of programming and whatnot from a security standpoint, because, you know, somebody will say like, hey, can we make this do this? And I'm like, well, but then what happens when the user takes advantage of it? We need to build in these safeties. You know, I'm aware of how things break, and I'm looking for how things break. And so like, if I'm supporting an organization for multiple years, it's because I've checked up on them and they keep doing good work, you know? Serena says, just wanted to let you know your words of encouragement and advice yesterday about my new job were so helpful. I appreciate all you do. Hey, Serena, I'm glad you had a great first day at the new job. That is awesome. So, good for you. A person who may or may not exist says, what is Joe doing? I'm building a giant glass cube in the Nether. Am I excited about TMR? I actually haven't seen the first Maze Runner, but if there's a new one coming out this week, I could see why other people were excited. Shala92 says, my cousin's son had childhood chemo, and charities like that make hospital time more bearable. Yeah, that's the thing, though, is if you can just... I think one of the reasons I like Child's Play is I feel like a lot of what their mission is, which is just to, like, help people pass the time when that's all you can do. You know, when you're healing, you just gotta wait. You know, like, that's, to a large degree, been, like... Or when you're waiting out a pandemic, all you can do is wait. Like, I identify with their mission because it's like, I feel like a lot of what I do is, when I do these streams, is, like, I give people something to watch while they're waiting for results of something that's already underway. I don't want my stream to be an excuse for people to waste time, but there are cases where you have to pass time, you know, where it's like, okay, I'm working, like when I was working on paying off my student loans, it's like, okay, I want to do something fun tonight, but I can't afford it. I'll read something somebody made for free on the internet, or watch something somebody made for free on the internet. I'll listen to a podcast, because I'm doing the work already to get out of debt, but it's going to take years. And so I just need something. What can I enjoy while I wait, you know? Simsamat tips 2, who says, hi, remember me? I do. Thank you very much, Simsamat, for that. That puts us 13 away from our next face camera expansion. So, yeah. Let's go ahead and keep going here. This is the problem with doing this way. I really think... Probably the least error-prone way to do it would be just to do it like this. And then do a second pass. Do I have any keyworded... Kaspersky's says, Joe, this is off topic. Do you have any advice for streaming on Twitch? Yeah, try to do things you like and things you will learn from. Because if you're trying to do both of those things, even if you fail at one of them, the other one might still make your time worthwhile. Like, you really... Like, if your goal is to get numbers or numerical targets, I can't help you. Like, my goal is to make things that I'm proud of. And honestly, I'm nowhere near at a level where I'm satisfied with my work. I know how much having to have 2 jobs held me back creatively for the last 7 years or so. Like, I've been ready to go full-time a while, and I haven't been able to do it, and I need to catch up. So, like, my goal is to just do a bunch of stuff that I think is fun and learn from it. And I'm not like, oh, yeah, I want to make X amount of money by X amount of time. Because it's like, if I'm not able to pay the bills, I'll just make more websites for people. And that's not fun, and it's going to slow down my learning and slow down my streaming. But, like, I'm not going to give up on this because I'm like, I refuse to ever make another website again. Like, you know, I'll take what work comes my way and, like, you know. Yeah, so that's the other thing is have a plan to pay for food. Like, I'm not going to tell you don't quit your day job because you might be able to get a good job that's halfway between your day job and streaming. Like, once you're making some money off streaming, like, I totally quit my day job. But, like, I'm doing freelance stuff to offset the difference, right? You know, because it's not like, okay, streaming wasn't making enough money 100% on its own, you know? So, like, you might be able to quit your day job and then take on something else on the side that you wouldn't have been able to do otherwise. You might be able to do freelance. But, like, have a plan to eat no matter what. But yeah, like I saw something where it was like making fun of Twitch streamers on Twitter, and it's just like, this is somebody who will work for 20 hours to earn $5 but refuses to take a minimum wage job. And it's like, well, yeah, it's you got to get work somewhere. You got to try to take care of yourself. Okay. Incredimike says, have some money in the bank if you can. Yeah, that was my original plan for if I was going to go full-time, would be to have more money in the bank. But I was kind of at this point where it's like, with COVID and virtual school and all these things, I was looking at it. I was like, I have to quit one of my jobs before school starts in the fall. Do I want to quit making videos, or do I want to quit being a full-time developer? And it made more sense to quit being a full-time developer. Hey, Ronan, thank you for the 2, who says, hi, Joe, what are you building? That puts us 11 away from the next face camera expansion. I'm building a giant glass cube. You know, I guess, well, I will say, like, even though I didn't have money in the bank, I did have, like, a retirement fund that I had been putting money into for years. So I was like, in theory, if I'm absolutely screwed, I can take a huge tax penalty, which I don't want to do, and withdraw some money from that. And I haven't had to do that yet. So, like, I do have some buffer. But I also had, when I first went full-time on YouTube, I had $5,000 in a health savings account. But I burned through all of that on Cobra within, like, 3 months of quitting my job. Or, well, no, I guess 3.5 months or something. But, like, so it's like I did have some extra money, but I didn't have, like, a huge amount of savings. I was just like, well, we'll see. It seems like YouTube's doing pretty good. Hopefully it follows through, and hopefully I can do freelance dev work, and it'll work out. And, I mean, for the most part, it's fine. Like, this car bill really... It's like, this is like, it's really frustrating because it's like, I'm just like, this is gonna really, it feels like a setback, but if it had happened 3 years ago, it would have been, like, devastating. Pineapple wants to know when the stream's gonna start. Luckily, we've got a whole thing just for you, Pineapple. It's music. Yeah, Cobra is insurance.
8:30 p.m. the usual streaming setup. Turn on the lights, make sure they're bright and gleam. Title tweet for water tank top and chroma. OBS seems all set, so I click start the stream, and so I'll pause, fold in, and open and VLC. I'll pick 2 songs before. Lay your head down and dream. I'll say that's us to y'all. Joe Hills from Tennessee.
Folks asking when will my stream begin?
After howdy, it's items and chest tools breaking. Pickaxe went poof while talking to you professional Minecrafter here, there's no mistaking. So I'll click crafting quick anvil time and champ pick, then I'll replace the books in a random chest with care. I'll tour my winery, I'm sure there's blocks somewhere, and then I'll hush and hush and hush and hush chat swear. Not any closer to recording. Folks keep asking and asking and asking and asking, when will my stream begin? Seriously, y'all, I need to record this next episode I've been working toward. I can't edit without footage, no. Once I'm all geared up, maybe we can start the show.
So there we go. We can take down that setting up stream now sign. Somebody says, have you ever been copyright struck for your own music? Yeah, constantly. It's always a problem. That's why the VODs, that's why my episodes don't have music, and why the VODs are taken down all the time. Also, somebody suggested, or Mr. A says, Cobra isn't great. I work in insurance. Call a broker and get a less expensive plan. So here's the thing, is my kid was supposed to have a surgery that was scheduled with the particular insurance we had for the anesthesiologist, the surgeon. All of these folks were selected because of that particular plan. And my ex rescheduled the surgery without warning me. And so the surgery was now at a point that ended up being after I was going to have to decide whether or not to stay on at my job. And so I needed to take the Cobra. So even though the Cobra was like $1,400 a month, the resetting up all the surgery stuff or paying the surgery people at the if we went to the ACA plan there, it would have been a nightmare. So it was just a really terrible worst case scenario. So the problem was I couldn't switch from Cobra to the ACA until the end of the year, and so I have since switched from Cobra to the ACA. So I went from paying like $1,400 a month for myself and a child to $600 a month. Although I had to get a prescription for my daughter the other day, and the pharmacist is just like, yeah, this is a really expensive prescription. And I'm like, I know. And like, because the doctor had warned me, and the pharmacist is like, even with the insurance, this is still like $200. And I was like, and this was like, and I was just like, it's, you know what? It's for the entire summer, because part of the problem with the prescription was that I didn't want to have to deal with the other side of the family trying to fill it while my kid is visiting them, right? So it's like, we're gonna get the whole prescription for the whole time she's gone today, okay? And she's like, yeah, this is the pharmacist is like, yeah, this is more than $200, and I'm like, I whatever it costs, I can't not do it. Like, I will have less fun in the future. It's fine. And the pharmacist is like, well, I might be able to get you some sort of discount code. Are you okay with that? And I'm like, why would I not be okay? What's the downside of the discount code? Why is that even a question? If I can get a discount, yes, let's save me some money on this. And the pharmacist is like, well, some people want to try and hit their deductible. And so if I give you a discount, you're going to be further from hitting your deductible. And she pulls it up and she's like, yeah, your deductible is $8,000. Are you planning on hitting that? And I'm like, oh God, I hope not. But like, yeah, please give me a discount. Like, so she got it down to like $170. I didn't even complain about this because this was like right next to the car problem. And I'm like, nobody wants to hear me coming in with two things at once. And but like, it's the sort of thing where it's like, yeah, so I'm on the ACA now with the $8,000 deductible. So, yeah. But per the terms of our divorce, I cannot allow my child to go uninsured, or I'll be in contempt of court. And being in contempt of court is way more expensive than a lot of things. So like that's one of the ways I stay positive about a lot of this. I'm like, at least I'm not in contempt of court. Yeah. BW Tips 5, who says, can't wait to see all this in the world download. Keep up the good show. Thanks, BW. I do what I can. That puts us 6 away from the next face camera expansion. Yeah, I know. The American healthcare system is incredibly deeply flawed. Okay. So, let's see. But yeah, like I said, it's like it's for the whole prescription through when she comes back in the fall, like week by week. It's like the math is fine. It's just like kind of like, this is a lot at once. It's fine. It's, like this is the sort of stuff though. Like, I want to point out too, I'm not coming to y'all and being like, oh my God, I'm so screwed. I can't get my car out of the shop, because y'all have been supporting me for a long time. And I have been setting aside that money for emergencies and for expenses, so that when I come in and I'm like, yeah, this sucks, it's like I need to replenish those emergency funds, not I'm bouncing checks, right? So, like, yeah. It's I don't want y'all thinking like, man, Joe's super irresponsible having all these big financial things at once. It's like, no, I think I'm managing them pretty well. Like, and then, you know what? When over the course of the next few months, as I get more money again, I'll keep replenishing those emergency funds. And oh, dang it. I did not have a contingency for not falling off that. Okay. Well, okay. Bloop, bloop, bloop. I think American health insurance really disincentivizes people from starting their own businesses. Like, a lot of the folks I know who were able to go full-time on YouTube years ago were able to do it because their nation had health insurance for people who were self-employed, just provided. And so it's one of those things where it's like, you can be like, oh, well, people want health insurance, they should work for it. It's like, yeah, but if people want to build businesses, their kids shouldn't not be able to get medicine? I don't know. Like, I'm sorry. What kind of people do you want starting companies that hire other humans to do work? I want ones started by people who are empathetic and, like, care about their families. Like, oh, dang it. I am not going to have... oh, he's got a crossbow, too. This is going to be bad. Pigman, save me! Pigman! Okay. But yeah, it's really frustrating seeing how our country has failed entrepreneurs and small business owners. And every time I get screwed by something like this, people are like, well, Joe, that's not really meant to hurt you. That's meant to punish lazy people. And I'm like, it's punishing me! I'm gonna be mad about it. Like, it's like, well, it's supposed to encourage people to work harder. I work all the time, and it's just making me feel like our country hates, like, working. Like this is so discouraging. It's like, this is why none of my friends are having kids, because they're seeing how hard my life is. They're like, oh, I want to start a business and be a cool artist and have a family, but I'll have a family last because I see that Joe's life is just constantly hell. Like, there is nothing in place to structurally help him, and I would have all those same problems. So you know what? I'll just wait. And I'm like, it's like, thanks, America. You're so pro-family. Nobody's ever gonna want to have a family here. Kaz Moore tips 6, who says, feels wrong to let it sit at a number so close to the next expansion. Well, thank you very much, Kaz. There we go. That is going to put us evenly at our next face camera expansion target. So it's time to expand. Alrighty. So, of course, most of my stuff is actually up there, which is why I brought the ender pearls, because I'm an incredibly clever fellow who is probably going to take fall damage and die now. Maybe not. Hey. There we go. And we got both of our shulker boxes. There we go. We got our glass back. Oh, what's that down there? We got our axe. Okay. Somewhere is a place where we can put this extra stuff. But yeah, America's like, oh, we want to be a family-friendly country. It's like, well, then do literally anything that helps families. Like, do I have a funny story about extremely spicy food? No. I like extremely spicy food. But, like, the thing is about it, this is the block I was trying to destroy earlier. Yay, we got it. Like, the thing is, just because I like it doesn't mean that my body doesn't respond anyway. Like, we have a lot of hot chicken places in Nashville, and we would be having these developer meetups there, and we'd be, like, sitting around talking about database schemas, or really fun stuff. And I would just be like, tears forming, like, while I'm eating this super hot stuff. People are like, you okay? I'm like, yeah, I'm great. But, like, eventually I'm like, from a social standpoint, I should probably have the less spicy one if I'm going to make people uncomfortable. So I started getting the mild chicken when, you know, or the regular or whatever, when I'm having developer meetups with people. Because it's like, yeah, people would rather, it's like, okay, yeah, we went to a hot chicken place, but, like, I don't want to watch this guy cry while he talks about databases. It's like, fine, I'll do you that courtesy. Hey, welcome MPT3K. If y'all have not already been following MPT3K, I cannot recommend Manu Smith and his channel enough. Twitch.tv/MPT3K. There we go. Posting that in the chats here. Boom, boom, boom. He streams pinball stuff throughout the week, but also has some really cool stuff. Like, my favorite thing he does is his Friday night Mystery Pinball Theater, where he's got commenters riffing. I am not... For some reason, I cannot summarize anything tonight. I'm like, here's something I love that I know a lot about. It's probably because I've been working all day. Y'all, I gotta up. I like, this is one of those things where I feel like it puts me in a weird place. Like, as, like, life kind of shifts as my daughter goes back to school and stuff, I want to move some of my streaming schedule to not be at night. Not every day, but, like, I want to have a few days a week where I'm not streaming at night. And part of that is that, like, I put so much energy into everything all day, and I still try to put on a good show for y'all, but my brain, like, there's evidence that I'm just tired. I can't work as hard as I work all day and come in here and do a great live show that y'all deserve. At the same time, though, y'all are the ones who helped me be able to quit my day job. So it's super terrible if I'm like, hey, now that I don't have to work this day job, I'm never going to stream at a time that's good for you guys. So, yeah, y'all, I am going to be streaming at night probably 3 or 4 times a week, every week, even once things kind of settle down. But I'm going to be adding afternoon and morning streams, too, so that I can hopefully have a few streams where it's like, I can describe something I enjoy without failing at words. So, MPT3K, Mystery Pinball Theater 3000. Manu created this custom system where 4... Look, that's an example! Holding up 3 fingers while saying 4 is me being too tired to summarize things. You know what? We could just use the abacus for this. Here, this is 4. This number of beads is the number of people in the Twitch chat that get to make jokes about whatever movie or show Manu puts on the screen. The jokes pop up in little speech bubbles, like, throughout the screen, and then the viewers can vote on who's funniest, and it's a really good time. Room 219B says there are 4 lights. You know, it's funny. I actually have this this reindeer thing that I wear at Christmas time, and you can't see the green light, but it's there. There are 4 lights. If I grab 5 beads, there are some nights where I'm just like, I feel good, and I want to keep streaming, But there is undeniable evidence I've pushed my body too far and my brain is revolting. Like, not that my brain is unattractive, but, like, sometimes it goes into full rebellion mode, and we don't want to generate evidence of what that looks like because, you know, the feds will notice. So, let's see what else is going on here. Folks in the Discord chat, Mr. Land says, talking about database schema seems like a valid reason to cry. Let's see. And, oh, hey, Quiet Devious One, thank you. Who says, I moved these 4 beads. I can't move them back. So that puts us 16 away from our next face camera expansion and the appearance of the Jost. Manu says, OMG, the feds are watching. They're watching you, MPD3. Take it. Always watching. I've got to say, this is my favorite voice from Monsters Incorporated. Like, a lot of my older relatives smoked when I was a child, and so I particularly find it endearing. But I know some people feel like it's kind of weird. So, the federal government isn't actually watching us. They have computers for that. Thanks, AI! Okay, so one thing I'm thinking about doing is adding squares into the frame here. And I'm realizing that might be an absolute nightmare. I don't want to fill in the whole frame, but I kind of want to play with this a little bit here. So if this is the end of 1 pixel kind of thing, then the beginning of the next one will kind of start, I guess, here. Oh, you know, now I'm thinking about this. This is kind of weird. Maybe it should go diagonally the same. It should have the same cuts, right? Oh, this is gonna be weird if we do it this way, but like, it might actually work better in some ways. Hey, we got our next tip via PayPal. Tips are always appreciated via paypal.me/JoeHills and YouTube Super Chat. Okay. And it is from Mr. Hardluck, who says, don't forget to warn people with pre-existing heart conditions. Well, thank you, Mr. Hardluck, friend to all of those who might not be ready for what a show is about to occur. Y'all have seen these tip-in milestones and how the money just goes straight to my head. But now, things are about to get a little bit more spectral up in here. So if you do have any pre-existing heart conditions, you may need to look away from your televisions, cellular telephones, or iPad tablets now. Because, like Dickens's Jacob Marley, these chains I've forged in life are about to begin pulling me down to the deep below. Enter the Jost. Bum, 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 bum. At this point, each milestone we hit, not only will the face camera expand, but the Joe-pacity will decrease. So, that means if you are an obnoxious person, you can tip $20 via paypal.me/JoeHills, or tip toward the next $20 milestone. The camera's going to get bigger, and it'll get harder for people to see the game. Eventually, though, we'll hit a point where I'll start getting so transparent that you'll be helping. So helpful people can throw money at the problem at that point. It's kind of one of those virtuous things, virtuous cycles, I don't know, where, like, at the end of the day, I can afford health insurance, which we talked about earlier, is a thing that, you know, I legally am required to provide my child. So, let's see. We have a tip already rolling in from Easy Peasy with the Kevin McAllister emoji. Thank you, Easy Peasy. That's going to put us 15 away for the next face camera expansion. Alrighty. So, the way we were talking about doing this, it would dip away. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we go this way and then that way. And Quiet Devious 1 rolls in with a solid 40. Thank you, Quiet Devious 1. And Quiet Devious 1 writes, well then, boom, 15, 35, 40. That's 2 face camera. I almost did this. I almost said 2 face camera expansions. It's fine. We're doing it live. Expand Joost. Do 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 do. Lowering that opacity now to 80%. Numero dos. Mucho expand Joost. Or actually, algo expand Joost? I don't know. I didn't really pay attention well, I did pay attention in Spanish, but it was like 15 years ago. 16. Oh my gosh. I'm old. No, it was 17 years ago. Hey, MPT3K rolling in with 20 even. Thank you so much. That puts us 5 past our next face camera expansion target. So here we go. It's time to expand. Just do 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 do. Manu, I gotta tell you, this is the most obnoxious face camera size because the camera is huge, but at 60% opacity. It's my personal favorite because I think I'm beautiful and I want to share that with the world. That's a big part of my mission here. But it's also a strong incentive for other people to keep the tips rolling in. So thank you very much, MPT3K, for supporting the show. So as I was thinking about adding these pixels here, I was thinking I would only do them on the outer frame, not the inner frame, because for one thing, this is like a bajillion extra blocks if I do it, and I don't want to place a bajillion extra blocks, but this will give this some texture to it in the distance here, assuming that I don't screw up my count. If I screw up my count, it'll just make everything look wrong. Okay. Manu says, Joe, the number you say should correlate with the number of fingers you hold up. I'm aware. I'm trying. Okay. Alrighty. So here we go. Of course, I'm on the... Oh, hey, there's a good way to hop over that. Yay. I was going to say, I'm on the wrong side of this to do this evenly or easily, but 1, 2, 3, 4. So then this is 5. Okay, and then we boom, boom, boom. Bring this one and this one up. I feel like I got some, like, pollen in my eyes. Now I'm, like, very aware of when I'm blinking. Yeah, I took my daughter out to read for a little bit outdoors today because we had some good weather in the evening. So we sat around and read for a couple hours, which was longer than I thought she was going to have patience for. I picked her up some of these, I think they're called Bad Kitty books. Like, they are just easy enough that she's about to outgrow them. They're going to be too easy for her by the end of the summer. But they're kind of a combination. There's some illustrations, but there's a lot of text, and yeah. So she's been reading those very voraciously, and I was like, it's nice. Let's go find somewhere we can sit outside and just chill. But might have gotten some pollen in the eyes. Womp womp. Somebody says, I think all kittens are good. That might be true, but this is a fictional book. So in fiction, the author can really just create whatever reality they want. Yeah. The other book that she read recently, she saw it and she was like, Dad, I want to read this. And I'm like, really? It's written by James Patterson. So that's kind of a red flag. But I also know that James Patterson doesn't write his own novels anymore for the most part. He has a team of writers who, like, do everything for him. And so I'm like, so this is a book that's not written by James Patterson, but it's still a James Patterson book. But it's at least, like, with the other kids' books. Apparently he has an imprint called Jimmy now. And I was fairly incredulous. And my daughter's like, look, here's what it's about. And it's, like... it's like a book kind of like 1984, except where comedy is banned. And I'm just like, you want to read a ghost-written James Patterson book about humor 1984? And it's like, and it's like 300 pages. And it's like 300 kids' pages. They're like big text, right? And there's a few illustrations here and that. But like, I'm just like, okay. You know, I actually did look at it, though. And I looked at the back of the book jacket, and it lists, like, the two ghostwriters. Like, Patterson actually credited them. And, like, you know, it's like, this person worked on The Onion and some other stuff that I had heard of. And I was like, okay, if he's actually giving these people credit, even if they're not on the cover, you know, he's at least crediting them. And, like, okay, these people have worked on stuff I've heard of. And, like, arguing with my kid about dystopias. Like, I mean, that's just one of the joys of being a parent. So I can't say no to that. What was the book called? I don't want to go get it. Let me check. James Patterson, Jimmy series 19. I'm gonna search for 1984 because one of the reviewers probably referred to it. Okay, here's the problem. He has 400 books out, and yeah, I don't think any of these are. Okay. He has 400 books out, so I don't know how to find the one other than, like, going elsewhere in my apartment to go get it, which I really don't want to do. I'm so comfy here making Minecraft videos. Please just let me do the one thing I enjoy, which is make this stuff for you. That's what I want right now. I just want to make Minecraft videos. So, yeah, this is one of the things I anticipated that would cause problems possibly with this, is these might not line up perfectly. But, dun dun dun. Hey, Need to Scribble, thank you for the 5, who says, lol, it had to be done. Well, thank you very much, Need to Scribble. That puts us 10 away from the next face camera expansion milestone. Once we are past, that'll put us past the most obnoxious face camera size. I refer to this is like my Tony Stark helmet cam, where I'm like, Jarvis. Can I do a Robert Downey? I don't think I've ever tried to do a Robert Downey Jr. voice. Like I've made fun of that guy who yells, "Tony Stark built this in a cave, from spare parts." Like I make fun of him all the time, but like, what does Robert Downey Jr. sound like? How would you even do that voice? But it'd be like, Jarvis, how am I on missiles? Is that that's no good. I don't think I get. I'm just gonna have to accept that I cannot do a Robert Downey Jr. voice without preparation. I'm a very talented person. I'm sure if I put my mind to it, I'm capable of it. But like, this is the sort of thing like I need to pull up YouTube clips and like try it, and I'm not gonna do that right now. If I can't be bothered to go get a book, I'm not going to be bothered to go find out how Robert Downey Jr. sounds. Kevin Feige can do that. Aviva Kitty says, I love the Bad Kitty books. They started coming out right at the perfect time for when I was at that reading level. Awesome. Okay. Jarvis decreased the opacity by 10%. NJ Coffee Junkie says, that reminds me, I broke out my jersey earlier. Oh, good news for people who love jerseys. They announced that they're going to have actual Ted Lasso jerseys starting this fall. And everybody keeps asking me, Joe, what do you want for your birthday? And it's like, I don't really want anything for my birthday. But a Ted Lasso jersey would be nice. But they're not available until, like, months after my birthday. So... And I'm also terrified that they're gonna go on sale for like 30 seconds and then sell out. So I don't want to be like, oh, you should get me this for Christmas, and then the person's like, oh, I was working, or whatever when it went on sale, and then they sold out immediately. It's like, well, I mean, even if I'm streaming when those Ted Lasso jerseys go live, I could have like an alert on my phone pop up and be like, hey guys, we're about to buy some Ted Lasso jerseys. Yeah, oh, you didn't mean that kind of jersey. Yeah, that's right, NJ. Over there, they call it kit, I've been told. So. Dang it. I fail. Deliver me. I have not read Upside Down Magic. I had never heard of that series. So when I picked up my daughter her books, I picked up myself... N.K. Jemison's When is Black Future Month, and that's been pretty good. I'm I've read the first 6 stories or so. With short stories, I try to like savor them. And that was one of the great things about reading outside tonight was like when I finished a short story, I would just like, you know, take a second and close the book. Not a second, but like a few minutes and close the book, think about the story I had just read, look at the trees, look at the sky. Like, short stories are great outdoor summer reading. Like, I really... If y'all aren't into short stories, because, like, oh, that's, like, in school we had to read short stories and they were all terrible. Yeah, well, here's the thing, is in school, the people writing the curriculum care nothing for you. Like, I'm sorry. Don't expect them to be able to teach you what is enjoyable or good, because they will fail you. But... yeah, I was disappointed because the place we got the books from did not have Analog or Asimov's, and so I'm going to have to probably just either get a subscription or try. I liked buying these things through local bookstores because it encouraged local bookstores to carry them, but now that local bookstores are like, yeah, we're not going to carry anthology periodicals, it's like, but maybe could you? Grumble, grumble. I wonder if comic shops carry anthology periodicals, because they already carry other periodicals, like, and they have like pull sheets. Could I just? The thing is that these are like every month or every other month. Asimov's science fiction and fantasy comes out or whatever. I don't know. Do I have any advice for clothes to wear in an art gallery? Usually they want you to wear black at an art gallery if you're, like, security. I don't know, it depends on what your job is. So, like, that's like if you said, like, hey, what clothes should I wear at the car dealership? It depends if you're in sales or service or if you're washing the cars. Like, you know, like an art gallery has like different clothing expectations for different roles, and okay. So it's kind of weird on the interrupted one here. I might just break that as well. This one might just be double wide. I mean, if you're thieving at the art gallery, black is traditional, but really you want something that looks street ready, so you can just blend into the crowds. When I was my daughter's age, I read a ton of Goosebumps books, and she and I read a bunch of the Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark together. Wait, did I not do this side yet? Oh no! I was like, oh, since I'm ahead of schedule, I can start putting in these pillars here. I'm not ahead of schedule at all. Did I finish the top of this one? Okay, so the top of this one is done. That's great. Okay. Sakara 10 says, my wife actually stopped reading after having to read the lottery in school. Yeah, like, the stuff people assign in school isn't always the best. But yeah, Ted Lasso is, in my opinion, one of the greatest things to come out on television in a long time. Like, it is one of the most joyful television experiences I have partaken of. I loved The Good Place. The Good Place is one of my, like I said, I'm not good at ranking things. But, like, I could tell you, like, The Good Place is one of those shows that has some, it's really good across audience appeal barriers. It's one of the best, but also most accessible shows. I don't know that, but, like, The Good Place, though, also has, like, a lot of heavy themes in ways, like, Ted Lasso, in general, is a much more aggressively positive show than The Good Place. And this year, that was a welcome thing for me. Hey, looks like we just got a tip here. from Anonymous, who, I'm not going to criticize. I think this person intentionally spelled Anonymous wrong as a joke. And so it might be Anonymous, who says, hugs and slugs, keep that kiddo healthy, take care of yourself too. And Anonymous tips 200, which, okay, so let's see, we were 10 away from our next face camera expansion, so there's that one. Then that's 2 at that. That's another 5, 6, 7, 8. And that puts us, wait, 9. Oh, wait, no, that clears the entire abacus. So it would be... It's 10 expansions. It's going to be 10 expansions. I'm too tired to do the math, but it's 10. 200 divided by 20 is 10. So, whatever you do, Joe, don't use your fingers. I know. It's this many. Jazz hands. That's the great thing about jazz is you don't have to keep a count. Or maybe you do have to keep a count. I don't know enough about music. I'm the worst person to talk about music. So here we go. Expand. Jost. Do. And we're going to lower that opacity now to 50%. Thank you, Anani Mouse, for that. Then numero dos. Expand. Jost. Do. Lowering that now to 42%. And then numero trace. Bigger face. Do. So, Mana, you can probably tell I'm actually dragging this off screen to get to the drag handle. And then manually doing this with the sliders. So that brings us down to 32%. That's our third face camera expansion. So here we go. It's time to grow hills. Do. Yeah, this is all done on the fly. Fourth one brings us down to 24% opacity. There you go. And then numero cinco. It's time to grow, Joe. I really think I need to write actual jokes for this in advance. Like these are... If I'm too tired to count on my fingers, I'm too tired to make up rhymes in multiple languages. That brings us down to 20% face camera expansion. 20% opacity. Okay. So, numero seis. Bigger face. Do. Okay, dragging this back here. It gets really difficult when I can't find the glasses anymore. Okay, so we're going to lower that down to 16%. That puts us... We've still got 80 worth of tips to process from Anonymous. Thank you, Anonymous, again. So, expand... Juice. Do. Where's that drag handle? OBS. So, fun fact, Manu, OBS will actually start turning off certain things in the context-sensitive menus when this gets this big. I guess there's just some edge cases they decided to handle by just, like, changing by just removing options. They're just like, you know what? When a layer is this expanded, you don't need all the buttons. So we're gonna lower that down now to 12% opacity. Okay, we got 60 left to go. So expand. Batman. There's the drag handle. Okay. So it's actually easier to drag the camera in some directions than others because of where OBS is on my screen, too. Okay, I can't tell where my face is at this point. So we're going to temporarily... Okay. Somewhere my eyes exist. There it is. Okay, we're going to bring it down now to 9% where it needs to be. Okay. There we go. That leaves us with 40 left. So here we go. It's time to expand. Just so you know, y'all, I did the math on this, and this is going to put us 20... No, not 20. This is going to put us 10 away from the entrance of the Beetlejuice. So if anybody wants to go ahead and tip 10 now via paypal.me/JoeHills or YouTube Super Chat, then we can put that Beetlejuice music on imminently. Otherwise, I'm going to have to get back to putting blocks in. Okay, so that brings us down to 6%. And our final one from Anonymous. Bringing that down to 3%. I don't even know where my face is anymore. Let's center this to the screen. We can turn it back up temporarily. Where is it? Where's my eye? We need to go into Minecraft and search for my eyeball. Eyeball. Where is it? What is that? There's one. Yeah, we're going to lower that down to 3% Joe opacity now, where it belongs. 10 away from the next face camera expansion. Philip Greenevalt puts us $5 past that, though, and has triggered the entrance of the Jost. Yeah, let me do this that way. And then Drew Wendt also rolled in with another 10, who says, I'm your Huckleberry. So thank you very much to both of y'all. Let's go ahead and play that Beetlejuice theme that y'all love so much.
Dear live stream viewers, will you watch my face? It took up your screens and began to fade. It replaced some pixels from a game you like. And this is my job, so I wanna be a webcam expander. Webcam expander. It's off color optics from a broken cam, and some other child just throws up its hands. The Jost is beaten for showtime now. It's a heady job, and he wants to be a webcam expander. Webcam expander. Webcam expander.
It's showtime. How do y'all oh no, it's playing more music. I didn't say it was showtime for my brother. It was showtime for me. Howdy, y'all. It's me, the Beetlejuice. Hope you've been appreciating and enjoying the stream so far. We're about to step things up a little bit. Gonna really turn this into a classy, quality, type of joint, that sort of thing. Anyway, just so you know, the face camera expansions are now gonna be at $50 milestones because, hey, I'm the Beetlejuice. I'm worth it. And, we're just gonna accept that, So anyway, that puts us between what Philip Greenewalt and Drew tipped, that puts us 35 away from the next face camera expansion. So thank you very much to Philip and Drew for that. So let's see, we're gonna get over here and we're gonna have some problems. This is all cutting into this. It'll be fine. Who cares? It's a giant glass box. For those of you just joining us, we are actually building a scale model of this glass box with a lantern. It's kind of a light, if you're not familiar with how lamps used to work back before they were all electrified, ask your great-grandpappy about this. But anyway, we've been building concentrically larger models of that glass box with the lantern. Oh, yeah, you don't want to get too close. It will hurt you. But anyway, so I am now on the 1 pixel on the original is actually 16 blocks in game. No, 8 blocks. 8 blocks in game. We are working on the superstructure. I did some detail work because I thought I was done with the superstructure before I realized I'd forgotten all this. But, yeah, so we're going to have some accents and some other things in here that are going to make this look good when it's done. It's not done. Time to keep working on it. So, yeah, there we are. Boom, bada bing. So, yeah, who's the guy building a giant glass cage of emotion on the nether roof? That's Joe Hills. Sakara 10 says, is it bad if I've never seen Beetlejuice? I think I was itty-bitty when it came out. Sakara 10, I gotta say, it is a film that has held up. Alec Baldwin is great in it. Michael Keaton is great in it. It's, honestly, the mom from Home Alone is in it. I'm blanking on her name. I am not good at famous people's names, but there's a lot of very talented actors in it, and the script is great, the concept's great, the execution, you can't have a ghost story without an execution, so I strongly recommend it. there we go. Blaze Anarchy Banana says, I changed my mom. Beetlejuice is my favorite version of Beetlejuice. Hey, well, I'm glad that your mom still has a capacity for change. I hope that when my daughter wants to, help me grow as I get older, I'm going to be receptive to that. So that's wonderful. Melons Away says, Beetlejuice is in the hot bar. Yeah, that's me. I'm down here in slots. Did y'all not see me? I'm down here. Hi. Hey, there we are. My Sin Uno says, I was on a flight several years ago and another passenger watched 20 minutes. That's this many. Of Beetlejuice and changed the channel. Some people are monsters. Yeah. I really think, yeah. Beetlejuice, great film. There's a lot of great concepts to it. I think it could make a really fun pinball table. I was actually, Hot Nudge the other day was like, oh, what would be cool pinball concepts? I was like, I would love to see a Beetlejuice table because they've already got the miniature town element in the attic. So you could have the miniature town model be like part of the concept, either as a mini play field or as like just part of the art. There's a lot of cool ways to do things. Yeah, I'm putting the hot in the hot bar here. Slot 7. Hey, Vincent, glad you could join us for the chat tonight. Brainboy says, have you ever been recognized outside of conventions? Yeah. Dahlia says, I'm shocked it isn't a pinball table already. Yeah, that's a real oversight. Yeah, it could be like the Addams Family table. Good point, Credit Mike. Okay, so here we go. We're gonna just place a block. Oh, and then we fell. That's fine. That's how we learn, folks. Dang it. So we're gonna go up here, and then we're gonna fly back. That was not... That was a terrible, terrible flight. I've actually never worn the Beetlejuice suit outside of my apartment, because, what do you call it? It's, I got this, after COVID started, I think, and so I just haven't had the chance to wear it anywhere yet. Maybe I should, wear this for part of the Draw for Charity event. I don't know. That's an interesting point. Wearing this to, what do you call it? PlayOnCon. The thing about PlayOnCon is it's super warm there, so I don't really want to wear full suits if I can avoid it. If you ever think about how big this glass cube is in meters, it's pretty big. Yeah, it's 128 meters. This is larger than a football pitch. Yeah, this is a 128 by 128 cube on the roof of the Nether for navigational purposes. Yeah, see, the Beetlejuice isn't cosplay for me. This is cos work. Do we know yet if they're going to have the boat again this year for PlayOnCon? Does this mean you won't be building a bigger lantern on top? No, but I might put the base of the next one up there. Have a good time at work, Vidmaster, or a manageable one. I heard they're going to put the game rooms in the dorm lobbies, which is an interesting choice, because there's apparently a new lodge building they're renting for board game for the board game events, but then or for the open gaming, but for the tournaments, they're going to put them in the smaller lobbies because they're not expecting a ton of competitors this year, which could work. But they're not going to have... Yurgi, do you remember that downstairs video gaming tournament room? They're not going to have that this year. This is the HermitCraft server, which there's our nether roof hub, which I'm working on now. It's a series of concentric cubes, scale up. I'm the one scaling them up. This is my own personal mistake, I guess, on some level. Yeah, I'm a little worried about the noise thing, too. But, like, in theory, nobody's bringing babies to play on Con this year because you can't bring non-vaccinated people. So, at least we don't have to worry about waking up babies. Does doing that voice hurt your throat after a while? No. I spend so much time talking all day. Like, at my old job, like, even as a developer, I was constantly training new developers. So I would be narrating all of my code as I coded it, basically. I would be like, okay, we're going to look at this, like, workflow, and we're going to break it into parts, and we're going to say, okay, we need a function that does this. We need a function that checks this. We need to validate this. So we're going to put this in this file because that's where these things go. So, like, y'all would be like, Joe, I don't know if you can stream twice a day. And I'm like, y'all, before I left my day job, I was, like, doing what I'm doing now, except with programming, which is way harder and with a much smaller audience. But I was still talking for hours a day, explaining what I was doing, you know, trying to get people up to speed. And I love teaching people. I'm not complaining. I'm just saying, like, I'm used to talking all the time. It's been a big part of my job, even when I was a developer. No, HC7 is not over until the server gets shut down, and we don't have a time frame for that yet. So we'll see. Okay. How many more cubes of horror, says Remy the Rambler. This is probably the last one. I don't think I'm going to have much time. I don't know. But I have not gotten a shutdown time. So tomorrow is my night off streaming because I play, what do I play? Pathfinder with the amazing Quinn Murphy, who had a pretty interesting Twitter thread earlier about running a Doctor Who tabletop game. He's always coming up with crazy, awesome ideas. Let me go ahead and post that thread. But yeah, I am so fortunate to have such a talented game designer running the game I play in. So that's a highlight of my week. Okay. How long could Joe talk straight? Could Joe succeed at a 24-hour stream? So the problem, Blaze Anarchy Banana, is I would just fall asleep. Like, I have a bunch of... Because of my digestive problems and stuff, I have to kind of manage my energy and rest. I can talk a lot throughout the day, but if I push myself too hard, I'm going to have other problems. So, yeah, I cannot do a 24-hour solo stream. It would not be safe for me or healthy. And I'm not going to encourage anybody else to push themselves too hard. So, like, this 48-hour stream that I'm doing with Draw for Charity, we've got, like, 6 awesome board members who are going to be helming things, and we've got a bunch of other folks coming in. So, yeah. A username that I made one says I'm going to be in Tennessee all week. So I have some clients in that part of Tennessee, and for legal reasons, I cannot recommend things in that area in public like this because it would be considered like guerrilla marketing or whatever. But that's a wonderful part of the state, and I hope you enjoy your trip. Okay, so... let's see here. Yeah, so we haven't actually started working on the cubes that'll go in, like the diagonal cubes. So, in some ways, I feel like I should start counting those out now. When I'm too tired to count anything, that's a good time to do it. But we got about 23 minutes left in the stream, so we should probably give it a go. Where did I leave all of those shulkers with the things? Yeah, sorry, a username. It's just the reality of like juggling multiple jobs. Sometimes you have to be aware of like requirements about stuff like that. So, but yeah. Come on, did I look past him? I had so many scaffolds, y'all. I'm incredulous. Did I put all the scaffolds back in my base? It's fine. It's fine. Yeah, I'm sure you'll have a great time. It is a wonderful area. Am I working on the nether roof because my base is done? Partially, but like also this is something that a lot of people are gonna see. When the world download comes out, not everybody's gonna visit my base, but a lot of people are gonna come up here and try to find like Grian's upside down. And so making sure that that's actually something that they can find is really important. I actually had never visited Grian's upside down until I built this. Oh, the signs say where each thing leads to. I just popped in to see what condition my condition was in. Yeah, oh yeah, what condition my condition was in. Let's go ahead and lay our heads down and dream over here real quick too. Just to turn 9 today. I must have emptied the scaffolds when I was moving the sand, is the only thing. Because I was gathering all that sand to make the glass. I don't know if any of y'all watched WWDC earlier today, but I watched a couple hours of that while I was working on this. Just gathering the sand. Yeah, Nashville has a great Parthenon replica that I strongly recommend if you're over here, but I can't talk much about East Tennessee. So, oh, there it is, 62. That'll be a good start. Yeah, our Parthenon is legitimately just gorgeous. Like, I know that, like, I play it up a lot, but, like, it's actually really cool. Like, I'm proud of it as a resident of the city. It's a cool thing. Tay-Tay the Hufflepuff says, I know you heard this a lot, but thank you so much for all the effort you put into this. It's very much appreciated. You're most welcome, Tay-Tay. This has been really fun for me, too. This is one of the funnest parts of my day, is getting to make this show for you. And, like I said, I'm looking forward to kind of mixing it up, so once the next season starts, I'm going to be streaming more in the mornings and the afternoons and not always at night. Because, like, I'm the sort of person, like, I don't really, I'm too far behind on everything to come into a stream fresh at night. Like, by the time y'all see me, I have been working on, like, 4 or 5 different projects all day. I'm tired. I'm exhausted. And I don't love that. I want to do more streams where this is, like, one of the first things I'm doing, you know? So... No, Badger Spanner saw the Parthenon when she was here. She couldn't go inside because of COVID. Okay, what does Just Woken Up Joe look like? You know, I stream at like 4 a.m. sometimes because I'm doing like stuff with my friends. I look a lot like this. Except sometimes my complexion's a bit better. Do I have plans in mind for the next season already? I am working on those. I have a few things that I'm like, I want to hit. Like, because I feel like some seasons we accidentally rush the end game, or sometimes it's intentional. But, like, I want to really enjoy the early season experience, right? So, It's like instead of having a thing where it's like, oh, I got to do a mine so I can get metal so I can do this, like let me just have an episode about me like making a good mine. What's a good early game mine look like? I haven't done a good early game mine for like several seasons because I'm always like, I just gotta get diamonds, I gotta get redstone, can't do anything without redstone, can't do anything without this. You know, and so like then I have like a terrible stairwell or a terrible ladder to get into the mine and everything's just miserable. And it's like, no, let me make a good mine entrance. Let me make a good storage system to start early, you know, stuff like that. Let me make a good starter house. Because like my starter houses, like this season I used that ship and that was cool, but like I kind of missed having a real starter house, right? So I'm trying to do it intentionally. Yurgi uses the word deliberately, but yeah, deliberately, intentionally going through the early game each episode and really like just savoring it, you know? Because like it's been a year and a half since we got to do the early game, really, you know? Hey, thanks MPT3K. Have a wonderful evening. I'm glad you could stop by. I'm looking forward to seeing you Friday night. Love the show as always. So, okay. Where were we? We got the rockets. We got the scaffolds. We need to go ahead and grab... Oh, yeah. We need to count this out. So these blocks on the original here... Oh, they're going to be occluded by these signs. Yeah, okay, let's look at literally any other glass block. Okay, so they're 1 pixel up and 1 pixel over. So at an 1 pixel to 8 block scale, that was not, I did not clinch that landing. Okay. Yeah, adding a minecart system or just like other little touches to the mine shaft would be really fun. I like when I started off playing Minecraft, I would always have like a minecart thing that would go all the way down or all the way back up or something. And those got replaced by like bubble columns and stuff like that. But like it's still fun. I don't know. I got to figure it out. Okay. So yeah, we got about 15 minutes left in the stream because I've got, even though tomorrow's my like evening off streaming, I've got a full day of season 8 planning. I got to reach out to Hermits about collab stuff. It's like as we get closer to locking things down, I got to just really get that all sorted out. Okay, so from here, if we're going to go up 8, well, actually, let's go over. If we go over 8, it's 1, 2. Now these are spawnable, and I don't have any lights. Ooh. Yeah, let's go back here and get some lights real quick. Yurgi says, or a system to send the ores back to the surface without having to go all the way back up. Oh! Yurgi, that's so cool because yeah, if you had like a dropper or a hopper thing that went under the minecart, you could send the ores up to smelt. Yeah. Well, that's cool. Oh. Asuma did that this season? Well, I don't want to steal what Asuma did. Blaze Anarchy Banana says Joe's going to be a small village boy while his teammates or server mates are being God. Well, I know Cleo is also planning on enjoying the early game. So even though we have plans to do like a big castle and a village around the castle and stuff over the course of the season, like that's not week 1. Like we might start figuring out like, hey, well we need trees. We should get the trees from over here because that's where the castle's going to go. We should clear this out. Oh, hey, if you have extra dirt, you can start leveling this. Or if you need to take dirt, take it from here to level it. You know, that sort of thing. We're gonna figure that stuff out. But yeah, I don't want to rush. Cleo doesn't want to rush. Like, we just want to enjoy playing some Minecraft together. And honestly, it's a great time to do it. Summer is here. People just want to hang out. And it's going to be great. So I hope y'all will check out those videos when they do go live. And just so you know, like, I don't know if any of y'all saw the way that I edited the most recent HermitCraft episode I made. But, like, if you only saw it on the streams, you wouldn't necessarily have known what that video was. One of the things I'm trying to do in Season 8, and that was kind of a test for this, was I want the people who watch the stream to watch the YouTube video and go, oh, that's what he was making? Even though, like I'm doing the stuff on the stream, it's like the video itself might be a very different product than what you get on the stream. I want them to feel more unique. So anyway, let's go ahead and... Dang it. Okay. Is it this way? Oh, boy, I'm yawning. How do you put them to go forward? There we go. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. So this is 8. Okay, this is 16. Okay. This is 24. So, looking at this here. 8, 16, 24. Those would be the distances we need. So on top of this one, here we would go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. Devin Crotty says, I usually use the recording segments as an opportunity to wander off and do something else because I'll see it later in the video. Awesome. Yeah, that's a great way to handle it. My plans for Season 8 are to pal around with as many people as possible. That's the short version of my Season 8 plans. Season 7, because of virtual school, I couldn't record or stream with a lot of the hermits in the middle of the day. Who, like the UK crowd, even though I was working from home, I was also helping my kid with school, so I missed so many collab opportunities in Season 7. Season 8, that's when I'm going all in. We are all in on collabs and fun. So that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think that should be square now, but let's go ahead and double check that. Okay, so we bring this over here. So people are saying new interactions are what I live for. Yeah, there's a lot of hermits that I just couldn't make scheduling stuff work. Sometimes people are like, oh, why don't you do stuff with so-and-so? Like, you guys seem like you'd be great together. It's like, we tried. Like, most of the people, it's getting people available at the same time. All of us are super busy. A lot of us have family or partners or whatever. Like, getting people available at the right times is difficult, and just I had to prioritize like taking care of my daughter and dealing with virtual school stuff this year. Like, COVID really had an impact on this season for me, and so I'm looking forward to by the time my daughter gets back from the other side of the families, she's gonna be going back to school and stuff like that. And so I'm going to have a few months to just record and do a bunch of collabs, before she gets back, and then when she does get back, school will be open, so, you know, I can plan stuff during the school day that'll work well with the Europe and UK crowd. It's gonna be a lot more social, is the overall thing. But that's also part of why, like, I'm like, okay, I can't only do night streams. I gotta like segment my day so I have game time earlier in the day to get those collabs in. You know, some of those will be streamed, some of them won't be, but like, I need to move some of the stuff that I'm doing during the day to nighttime and things like that too, because there's only so much time in the day. So, yeah. Like, and I will warn y'all, like, if you're super hype about Joe and Cleo are building a base together in this season, I can't wait for all the Joe and Cleo content. There's a good chance that in the first few episodes, it won't be a Joe and Cleo party, because we have the whole season for that. Like, we already have, like, because we're going to be working in the same place, right? Because we're building our base together. We're going to have a lot of natural interactions and things like that. So we're going out of our way to lay groundwork and meet up with other hermits early in the season in those first few episodes so that you'll see more of them as time goes on too. Does that make sense? So I don't want anybody being like, what, you and Cleo were barely in episode 1 with each other. And it's like, well, that's because we needed to get other people in there first, right? Like, this is intentional stuff. Yeah, Corrales and I tried to do a meetup, a collab, a few months back, and it's like, it was like a week of like, okay, well, my HVAC caught fire. Can you do tomorrow? Oh, yeah, sure. It's like, oh, actually, this happened, and it's like, oh, okay, well, that's fine. Like, the other day it was me, now it's you, you know? So just trying to get the two of us to be able to schedule anything simultaneously was very challenging. But yeah, so Cleo and I have a lot of great plans for the season, but we are not going to front load our season with each other. Like, because the thing is, to a large degree, a lot of our fans already know each other. Like, it was technically the landlord's HVAC that caught fire, but like, it was in my attic, which I didn't know had a thing that could catch fire in it. So that was a whole thing. But yeah, Iskall will definitely be back. Don't worry. Yeah, Iskall has been very involved with the planning of the next season. And yeah. Okay, so we're gonna go up here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think that worked, but just to be sure that we got the right height here. But yeah, I've been, there's a lot of folks that I've been talking to a lot more. So here's the thing too, is it's like, there's a lot of off-camera interactions that y'all don't catch. And so, like, I know some people are like, I haven't heard anything from so-and-so. Are they coming back? Like for example, like, you know, I know Stress hasn't made a ton of episodes lately because she's got a bunch of stuff going on. She's got family. She's got kids, you know, like, I've got kids. I know how hard it is. But, like, I have talked to Stress so much the last few days, and it has been incredibly productive and honestly refreshing because, like, Stress and my schedules don't normally line up. And so the fact that we've been able to just chat about so many things, like, I'm looking forward to doing stuff next season. It's just like, it's a very exciting time right now for me, but it's also like exhausting because I'm spending all my time on stuff that I can't show anyone yet. And I love showing people the stuff I make, which is part of the reason I do what I do, right? So yeah. But yeah, so yeah, don't worry. Even if you haven't seen a lot from Stress or Iskall lately, like, yeah, they're coming back. There's a lot of great folks that are involved with the next season, and I'm very excited for it. dang it. Okay. So, I'm hoping that this looks organically similar to the other blocks in the frame. Oh, this is not the one that had the frame. Okay. Philip Greenevalt says, "Are you sweet on stress?" That seems like one of those questions that might mean something in different like versions of English. I think very highly of stress, but I'm assuming "Are you sweet on stress" means something more familiar than I would believe is the case. But, like, honestly, if you let me talk about anybody I work with on HermitCraft for more than 30 seconds, people are going to be like, oh my gosh, does Joe have a crush on Beef? It's like, because Beef is awesome. But, like, you know, that's the thing, is like, you know. I mean, people see what they want to see, and I'm not going to get involved with arguing with people about it. But, I am very, very lucky to be working with so many talented professionals on bringing this new season together. And I was just mentioning that I, in particular, had been talking to Stress a lot about the planning stuff, and it was just really nice because we haven't gotten to talk a lot in the last few months because our schedules hadn't lined up really. So... So Beef is actually one of the people that I haven't figured out like a good collab hook with for early this next season. So that's something that I need to, like, that's part of what I've been trying to do is kind of reaching out to everybody and being like, hey, you know, I heard you're working on this, you know, maybe this is a way that we could do something early on, you know, like Cleo and I are hoping to get a flower forest. So, like, will you need dyes? Could we do some sort of thing where, like, we trade for something? You know, like, just kind of basic, like, very early season stuff. But I don't know that... I don't know, like... I haven't... Yeah, I'm going to have to touch base with Beef. Thank you for reminding me, y'all. Because, like, I was thinking about it, and I feel like, ideally, by episode 10, I should have had every other hermit in an episode, right? Because, like, obviously, it's hard to fit, you know, it's hard to, like, have everybody set up. Oh, I don't know. Oh, this is going to be another one of these awkward ones with the thing going through here. Okay. Yeah, we'll just work that like that, I guess. Matthew Lavis, Tips 26, who says, hey, Joe's just taking a small bit from your car bill. Well, thank you very much, Matthew Lavis. That 16... Yeah, boom. That puts us 19 away from the next face camera expansion of the Beetlejuice. Which, sorry that I've got a block there. But, yeah. So that puts us 19 away from the next face camera expansion. It is very appreciated, Matthew. If Proxmod is updated early in the season, casual interactions might be possible with other people too. We're hoping, we're optimistic about this. Yeah, collabing with TFC again would be awesome. So there's a few people where it's like I have stuff locked in. I absolutely know what I'm doing, and I'm super hype about it. But I can't hype it publicly because that's not cool, you know. But like, you got to be chill when you work with other professionals. But I don't want to be chill because I'm super excited about my friends. But yeah, it's just one of those things where there's a lot to do early game, and I want to make sure that, like, if I get to episode 11 and I realize there's somebody I haven't collabed with, episode 11 needs to be about hanging out with that person. Like, I really, in the past, I had to settle a lot for, like, oh, you know, it'd be cool to do more collabs with Ren, but, like, getting our schedules together, that's going to be a problem, you know. But, like, this season, I'm like, no. I'm going to have, like, an actual list of, like, when was the last time that I recorded with this person, and, like, I'm going to sort it by episode number, and I'm going to, you know, I'm not going to be like, oh, well, it's been 15 episodes, time to do another Vintage Beef one, even if it doesn't make any sense. But, like, when I see, like, oh, hey, it will have been a while since I talked to Beef, let me reach out to him before it's been too long and be like, hey, you want to do something in the next 3 weeks? And then, you know, try to just stay ahead of it, you know? Oh, this is going to be kind of a weird one here. I have not ever done an ice base. That's not super interesting. Wells Night is definitely coming back. I've been talking to Wells a lot, too. Wells is another Tennessean, although he's from Wisconsin. But he's been in Tennessee for a few years now. And we've been talking about both server collabs and in-person stuff. We have some interesting ideas. But a lot of the in-person stuff, we're kind of waiting for broader vaccine availability, and, like, because, like, right now kids can't get vaccinated, so I don't want to do a signing or something and have too many kids crammed into one space. That's not cool. But, like, this fall or this next spring, you know, would be really a lot better. Hey, Stout Hammer, it's going pretty well. Yeah, I've been vaccinated. But in-person collab streams, that's one possibility. Who isn't coming back? As far as I know, I think everyone's coming back. Unless they said something and I missed it. But, like, yeah, Wells is definitely coming back, and he's gonna have some great stuff for y'all. But once again, I can't come in here and talk about other people's projects because that's not acceptable. So then 1, 2, 3, 4, and I think this would be the next pillar here, if I'm not completely off my count. Teal Hibiscus says, I would go to a signing. Yeah, Wells and I have done a few signings together. We did one in Nashville. We did one in Pennsylvania. Wells is just a cool guy to hang out with in general. So, but yeah, just because kids can't get vaccinated yet, it just doesn't seem like it's the right time to start scheduling or announcing those things. It's just not worth the risk, you know? So, okay. I'm feeling really good about this on the whole. I feel like when we get more of these columns into, like, I think that this will look better when we get these up the sides too. And I kind of don't want to do that, but I feel like it's going to look better when we have the pillars have glass levels in them. Yeah, I know it might be a while till the under 10 crowd can get vaxxed, but the under 10 crowd is going to be the ones that are most upset if they can't come get their stuff signed. So, you know, my kid's under 10. I would hate to be a parent who's just like, hey, Joe Hills is doing an event with a bunch of his Minecraft friends in town here, and you can't go, but your older brother can. And hopefully he'll remember to get something signed for you. Like, no, nobody wants that. That's just not okay. So yeah, we'll wait a little longer. I'm not gonna do an adults only signing. That's not cool to the kids. The thing is though, we do other meetups and stuff like that are gonna be like, you know, 21 and up. Like if I'm like, hey, Wells and I are going to play pinball, that's not a signing or an event. That's like a meetup. But like there's a new pinball place in Nashville that I was thinking about trying to do something like that at. But once again, it's too early to announce anything. Okay. Yeah, so like we might do, like there might be events at places that are 21 up only anyway. But they wouldn't be like advertised the same way. Dang it. I messed that up. But like I'm going to be at PlayOnCon in Birmingham, Alabama. And that's going to be an adults-only convention because they're only allowing people in that are vaccinated. Well, I guess technically 16-year-olds can be vaccinated in Tennessee or Alabama, but so that's not like technically an adults-only event, but it's not open to the whole public. Oh boy. Okay, so we got a lot of glass here. We have enough glass, I think, to finish these pillars. I don't know if I have the energy to finish these pillars tonight because I'm already, like, not counting things properly. Dang it. And then having to redo them. It's 12 plus for Pfizer in New York. Okay, cool. My kid is 8, and so, like, until it gets to 8-year-olds, I won't know what the... I'm just keeping an eye out for that. 12 plus can get it. Okay, cool. Okay, so that one's going to be right in the middle there. What is the purpose of this build? Hubris? Really, it's just hubris. I'm just building larger and larger glass cubes modeled after this one. So, the one we're in now directly is a 1 pixel to 1 block interpretation. Then we have a 2 pixels, or 1 pixel to 2 block interpretation. We have a 4 block to 1 pixel interpretation, and finally an 8 pixel. 8 block to 1 pixel. Okay, I'm tired. We're gonna. Okay, yeah. The fact that I can't talk, it is late. I've had a big day of planning for the next season, and I've got a big day of planning for the next season tomorrow. Tomorrow night I am not streaming because it's my night off. I'm gonna be not streaming. I'm gonna be playing Pathfinder with Quinn and some other friends. That'll be good. But yeah, so I'll be back Wednesday night streaming something. I'll either be streaming from the HermitCraft server or not. We'll see. But yeah, there will be an embargo period once we start recording Season 8. So I'm going to have to stream other places in the meantime. But anyway, let's go ahead and see what else is going on Twitch right now. Okay. Bum, bum, bum. Wait. What is going on here? Boom, 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 boom. Well, hey, it looks like Fliptronic is playing Stranger Things, pinball, which I actually don't get to go to bed right away. I actually have to do a bunch of cleaning, like I have to go get the kitchen all cleaned up and stuff like that. So this is what I'm going to be watching while I clean. Don't Panic Flip playing Stranger Things pinball. Looks like he's doing some drink mixing as well. So we'll go ahead and raid him. Until next time, y'all, this is Joe Hills from Nashville, Tennessee. Keep adventuring. And don't forget to say howdy, y'all. Joe Hills raid here. Do-do-do-do.